the last time we drew a tree in winter like that with no branches on, we're going to draw a tree in a landscape now. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, basically we're going to draw that tree but a lot smaller in the distance. So here, about halfway up the page, notice I came off the page and left little gaps because it's all a little bit not defined because it's in the distance. Now I drew that line quite quick. Next line has to be drawn slow because what we have to do is make the line thicker as it goes down, so the trunk's thicker. So there's my trunk, and I'm going to split the tree. Now I'm working a lot smaller now, so I'm going to have a lot wispier lines because I'm trying to draw it smaller in the distance. That's going to cast a shadow. You'll find if you're practicing drawing trees, you can draw lots of trees this size because they're really quick to draw. When you draw a larger tree, you have to draw all the details in. This one's going to be in the distance. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of perspective. So that's going to be a path. See that curve? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the trunk. I'm going to do another path. Do you notice how I just touched the paper slightly? But so you get these little odd marks. That distance there is wider, that distance smaller, and the picture now drags you all the way into your tree. So I want to drag the viewer's eye into the tree a bit more, so I'm going to do a little fence post. Fence posts are quite nice to do in landscapes. Might do a little video on a fence post. So high contrast, dark, a lot of dark and light, and then what you do, you get lighter as you go further away, and then that makes them look like they're in the distance, like that one's falling over there. And then gravity is taking its toll on the barbed wire in between, and so there's a little loop going down so it sags slightly. There's my tree, there's my fence posts. There's going to be bits of grass because we're out in the landscape, going out the base. In fact, I could have some grass here. I'll do a little video on how to draw grass actually. And a dandelion. It's going up and then it's bent over. You get little clumps, so where grass is growing, a little clump of grass growing out. Notice that clump of grass is almost as big as the tree, but because it's in the foreground it's larger. So it's not the same size as a tree. Perspective, things getting smaller. And there, because these are less defined, the clumps of grass and stuff, they don't show up as they go further back. They just become little bumps in the landscape because you won't see them. So here I'm going to have a little bush perhaps in the distance, little hedge just peeking over the top. And that is how to draw my tree in a landscape. Now that is really simple. Tree, everything pulling you towards the tree.